Hello, everyone. Welcome to Higher Self Realities. This is Reverend Bilson, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about 4 reasons why prophecies can fail. A lot of people want to know their future. That makes sense. We want to know what's ahead so we can plan better and we can adjust to meet the future. We don't want to be surprised by future events. However, a lot of people don't understand the nature of future, the nature of destiny, and the nature of prophecies. And so what happens is they tend to over-rely on prophecies and predictions by pastors and prophets, spiritual men and women, by tarot readers, by psychics, and so on and so forth. And when these prophecies fail, they feel depressed, they feel disappointed. And this disappointment stems from the fact that most people don't understand the nature of destiny, the nature of what we call future. And so today's video, I hope you will find very valuable to your own life in more ways than just the spiritual. Without wasting much time, let's head into those 4 reasons why prophecies can fail and why you need to understand these things in order to be ready and not become a victim of prophetic disappointments. So the first thing is that we all have multiple futures. When I was growing in my spiritual journey, this was one discovery I made that was so astonishing and yet refreshing, because it makes you realize that the future is not set in stone. And that's what I want us to understand. You may go get a prophecy. Someone might prophesy into your life or give a prediction about your life, about what is coming or what might not come in the future. One thing you need to understand is that the future has multiple possibilities, multiple options. And whatever prophecy you receive or prediction you receive about your future is only a snapshot of one specific possibility out of a myriad of possibilities. This is what you need to understand. The future is fluid. In The Lord of the Rings, okay, that famous trilogy, if some of you have watched, it's one of my favorite books and movies. In the movie, you find that Elrond, the father of Arwen, was against the idea of Arwen trading her immortality to marry Aragorn. Okay, so he looked into the future, and what he told his daughter was that I looked into your future and I saw death. But then when Arwen was on her way to back home, feeling so disappointed that she was unable to marry Aragorn because of her father's prophecy, she had a vision where she saw that in the vision, in the future, she saw that she actually had a child with Aragorn. And so she came back, ran back and told the father, you told me that you only saw death, but there is something else. There is also life. This is what I want us to understand. The future is not one thing. It is many, many, many different things. So I may see something about your future today, but what I see about your future may be just one element out of 100 other elements within that same frame of the future. So in case this message I give you or this prophecy is not fulfilled, it's not necessarily to be taken as meaning that my prophecy was false. The point is that we do have multiple futures. And at any given time, no matter how good you are not going to see all the different futures of an individual. You can see 1, maybe 2, at most maybe 3 at a time. You can't see all at a time. And as you will soon discover, there are several factors that play into the future adjusting and changing. Because of this adjustment and changes in the future and the fluidity of future, prophecies should not be seen as something static, something bound to happen. It's not bound or guaranteed to happen because there are a lot of forces acting on the future, and the future doesn't stand in one place, as we shall soon find out. We do have multiple futures. You have multiple versions of yourself in the future right now, and therefore you can actually select your future. And that is why you should be careful about putting all your trust in one prophecy you received about your future, because your future is not just one thing. The next point is that, related to the first point, is that destiny is dynamic. When we talk about destiny, a lot of us, of course, think about it as the trajectory of our lives, okay? The trajectory of our lives, our life purpose, our life mission, why we are on earth, what we are here to do, and so on and so forth. This destiny, again, most people look at it as something static, something set in stone, something predetermined. And so I want us to understand that there is no such thing as predetermined destiny. God has not predetermined anyone. The universe hasn't predetermined you to anything. You still have the purpose, the power of choice. And you do have purpose, you have goal, and you do have agency. You are in charge of your own destiny. And destiny is not something mechanical. It's not something static. It is dynamic. It is constantly evolving. And you have to learn to evolve with it. I'm making this point again because of the too much hope sometimes people put in prophecies, okay, as if they are just a victim of their future, or they are just passive participants or passive spectators or observers of reality, when in fact it's not the case. Destiny is dynamic. And so when I give you a prophecy, or someone gives you a prophecy or prediction about your future, you need to understand that that prophecy is operating within a dynamic destiny where there is room for change, there is room for surprises. Your destiny is not set in stone. And so be careful you don't see prophecies as some form of determinism. That can lead into the danger that I spoke about earlier, about disappointments, feeling disillusioned, and sometimes even feeling like, well, all men of God or women of God are liars, or spiritual people are liars. When they predict something, it doesn't occur as they predicted. It's all because a wide variety of forces and variables act upon the future, contrary to popular opinion, where people think that once I give you a prophecy, it means your life or your destiny is headed in that direction and no changes can be made. Nothing could be further from the truth. Let's look at the next point. This point is about categorizing the future into near future and the far future. Near future means something in the future, let's say a few hours from now to a few days, at most to a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, at most 1 month. Let's consider that the near future. That means, let's say I'm a prophet, or I have the gift of a seer and I can see your future, or the gift of clairvoyance, or whatever it is. I can see the future, a future event about you, about somebody that is going to happen between now and the next month. So it's a 30-day window. When the prophecy or the prediction is occurring within a short time frame, there is a greater chance of accuracy. The accuracy rate is much higher than, say, making a prediction or prophecy about the far future. Let's say something that is going to happen 5 years from now or 10 years from now. For example, you look at somebody and you predict that, listen, in the future, in 5 years from now, I see you marrying. 5 years from now is a long time. And a lot can change between now and 5 years from now. That is the far future. So when you give a prediction or a prophecy, it is running through all of these timelines, the near future and the far future. The longer the time frame it will take for the prophecy to be realized, the greater the risk of inaccuracies, the less accurate it's likely to become. And again, people need to understand these dynamics of prophecy and predictions, so that when you approach spiritual people or you approach religious people who are giving prophecies, you understand the context of the prophecies. It's not guaranteed to happen. Again, you should also not be afraid when people give you negative prophecies, because it's not guaranteed that it will happen. You can take action based on it. You can allow the prophecy to guide you, but it's always better to approach these things with a measure of flexibility, knowing that there is something called the near future and there is something called the far future, as I have explained. If it's something that is going to happen today, let's say something is going to happen tonight, and I give you a prophecy about that this morning, well, the time frame is very short. It will only take a few hours. So there is little room for much to change. Okay, there is little room. Something can change, but that something, because of the narrow window, it will limit the chances of something changing about the prophecy, as opposed to a prophecy about a year from now. So if someone is giving you a prophecy about a year from now, like for example, next year I see that you are going to come into a lot of money, or 2 years from now I can see in your future that you are a billionaire or a millionaire, you should be careful. Between now and 2 years, a lot can change about that prophecy. No prophecy is guaranteed to be fulfilled. I want you to understand that. No prophecy or prediction is guaranteed to be fulfilled, because that is not how nature works. Nature is more flexible than we think. The final point is that we can again group prophecies into general prophecy and specific prophecy. In short, the more general a prophecy is, the more accurate it's likely going to be. And the more specific and detailed a prophecy is, the greater the risk that it might not occur exactly as had been predicted in detail. Why? Because if you make a general prophecy, let's say, hey, I see that in the coming year, I see that you are married. That is very general. It's not too specific. But I can also say that in the coming year, I see that you are married to an American businessman who owns 5 properties all over the world, and I can see that you have 3 babies with him. This is very detailed, and the chance of it occurring exactly as was said is minimal. And these are things we all need to consider when we are giving or receiving prophecies and predictions. Otherwise, we will end up confusing ourselves or confusing other people. I hope today's video has been of value to you. I hope that it will help clarify some of the misconceptions around the future, destiny, and prophecy. And whether you are the one prophesying into someone's life, giving a prediction, or you are the one receiving a prediction and prophecy, this knowledge you have gained today in this video will help you to receive whatever is being received, or give whatever is being given within the proper context of understanding, so that we minimize the risk of confusion and we approach life and the future and destiny with more flexibility and more open-mindedness. If you have liked today's video, I'd like you to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be sure to share, like, and comment so that we hear from you. Help us to grow this channel so this message can get to a lot more people. Until next time, God bless you, and this is Reverend Bilson saying bye for now.